Hello students, today we're going to be discussing fractions on a number line. So let's go ahead and get started. There are two main things that I will be discussing, and I will be using the two different colors to discuss both things. Let's start with the green one. The green marker will be used to talk first about the denominator. Okay, so our denominator basically means that there is a number that represents the total number of equal parts that represents a whole. So let's go ahead and look at how many total parts we have on this number line. So the way we'll be represented here is by this line, of course, and then the parts will be separated by a little, let's call it a little stick. It'll be separated by a little stick. Now a number line always starts at the beginning, which is a 0, to the 1, okay? So in order to know what our denominator is going to be, we're going to have to figure out how many total parts we have. So in this case, again, we're gonna always start at the 0, and we're gonna make a simple jump, but we're not at the 1 whole yet, so we're gonna continue, and then we have another jump. Now the total amount of times that we jumped was 2. That is our denominator because it represents the total amount of parts that I have in my fraction. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about something else. We're going to talk about our numerator. Our numerator represents the parts that are being used or counted or shaded. In this case, it's a number line, so they're being counted, but it's the number of parts that are being counted in total. So notice here how we have a little dot. That is where we're going to stop counting our little parts. Okay? So we have 1, 2. So our numerator is 2. Our denominator is also 2. Number of total parts that we have here is 2. Number of shaded parts is also 2. Okay, so now we're going to put that on our little, let's call it a fraction strip. So we're going to use the green marker to represent our total parts. So we have 1 part and 2 parts. Okay, as you can see here, 1 and 2. Okay, now the amount of parts that are going to be shaded depends on the numerator. This numerator has 2 of them shaded. So we're going to go ahead and shade 1, 2. And that's it. Our point is represented by the fraction 2 out of 2. This is our visual on a fraction strip. And we were able to determine the denominator first and then our numerator. Let's try this again. First, we're going to start with our denominator that is shown in green. We're going to count the total parts down here. Starting with a 0, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we stop at the whole number. So we have a denominator that will be 8. Now we're going to use the pink marker to determine our numerator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're going to stop right there because notice that is where our little dot is. So we're going to go ahead and put the 7 right there. So our total amount of parts, our total amount of parts is 8. So we're going to go ahead and put the number 8 here because it's a total number of parts. And the total number of parts that will have to be shaded are 7. Okay. So now I'm going to first represent my denominator on this fraction strip. I'm going to start with 2 parts, 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 whole parts. Now mine are not super even, but when you try to make your own fraction strip, try to be as equal as possible in each piece. And now we're going to shade 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this fraction strip represents 7/8, which is the same thing that we have over here. All right, students, good luck on today's assignment. Bye.